Today I'm joined by Willie Moon, who's been doing some great things overseas and is in New Zealand for how long exactly are you here for?
I'm not even sure. I'm leaving on Saturday.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. So just for a while then, okay. So you've released your album Here Comes Willie Moon. When was that released? Just a couple of months ago?
I'm not really sure.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's all out of your hands?
I really don't know anything what's going on. I'm here at, I've been forced here by SUV full of suited men with machetes.
You're just a puppet.
And I'm stuck. And I've been kidnapped basically. My life hasn't been my own for the last couple of years. I've been kidnapped.
So let's talk about, I suppose, your origins. Originally from New Zealand,
That's
Wellington.
right, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And so, from what I can work out, I mean, you had a few difficult years in New Zealand, and you're based over in the UK.
Yeah.
Would you say then that you still feel an affinity with New Zealand, or is the UK more like home to you?
The UK is home to me because I live there, but I'm a New Zealander, and I'll always be a New Zealander. I'll never be British. It's just, it's insane to even think of that as a possibility.
So what I do know is that you left school early or whatever, and you went over to the UK. How did someone who you didn't finish school, what have you, get into film noir and pre-60s rock and all that kind of thing? Where did you learn all this?
I've always just been obsessive about things, and the magic of the internet, really. I'm interested in researching things. I'm really interested in culture, and I'm really interested in, like you say, about film and old music, and I'm really fascinated by how culture evolves and how it affects each other, like how each cultural movement has a knock-on effect that sort of ripples for a very long time and has a life that continues, even if it's not, in an obvious and direct way.
Right.
So that's kind of what I try and explore in my record, really.
So how did you discover music?
How did I discover music?
And that you were a singer and that you wanted to make it and be immersed in it.
Well, I discovered that I could sing through not having anybody else to sing the songs that I was writing. I started writing songs basically to entertain myself.
So you wrote the songs first?
Yeah, I started writing songs, and then I didn't really have any other way of expressing them. I didn't have any band members to play with. I played guitar since I was a little kid.
Right.
That was my first love musically.
Okay, cool.
And then singing was something that happened through necessity. And then I started to really like doing it, and I discovered that I felt I had a certain voice that I could work with and that I could develop something with. Yeah.
Jack White stumbled across you somehow.
They got in touch with me because he'd heard a couple of my records.
Wow.
And he said that he was, the first thing he said to me when I met him, which was an incredible moment for me, he said, I'm a fan of your music. And then I put out a single with him and ended up touring with him, which was great.
You've done a couple of songs with him, or just one song?
I released a single, so it was a 7-inch, so I had a B-side. It was Railroad Track, and then on the B-side I did a cover of Bang Bang, that song.
Cool. And so, where to from here? You got the album out. Are you going to play some shows for us in New Zealand?
I will.
He's been touring everywhere else.
Well, you know what? I was planning on coming down and bringing my band here, but it was just, I tried to work out a way to put them in the cargo hold of the plane so I wouldn't have to pay for tickets.
Yeah.
But bringing them down just to do one show didn't really make sense. So I'm going to try and come back at some point, hopefully soon, and do a proper tour. And
the sound that you've got at the moment, would you say you've constructed that sound, or is that just a sound that's completely you?
No, I mean, well, both. I suppose if I constructed it, then it is completely me. But so both, really. But it is something I was very deliberate about. I had a whole sort of conceptual idea behind it, and I wanted to try and find, basically, as being somebody who's obsessed with a lot of different music from a lot of different genres, a lot of different places, I wanted to find a way that I could bring everything that I loved into one record, and I wanted to find a way, basically just for my own personal amusement and pleasure, that I could incorporate all these elements of different things that have inspired me throughout my life.
So the album Here Is Willie Moon is out now. We're going to go check out My Girl, which is the latest video, and you just said before that you're wearing the same suit as in the music video.
I am, to which you responded, you must be a vampire.
I did say that,
It's,
actually.
you know, pretty close to the truth. In fact, these lights are incredibly bright.
I did mention when you walked in here that is a fine suit. Where's it from?
Thank you. I got it from Coffins & Co.
Of course.
No, it's from Alexander McQueen.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
All right, then let's go check out My Girl. Before we do, can you tell me anything about the song?
Yeah,
For the listeners.
this was, you know, for me was my born out of three things really. It's the Ramones, it's Phil Spector, and it is the Who.
Three genius things all summed up right there. Cool. Thank you very much for coming along.
Thank you very much.
It is Willie Moon with My Girl.